What's going on, everybody? This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we're going up to Monument Valley. We're going to stop at Glen Canyon Dam, Lake Powell. We're also going to go to Canyon de Chelly, do some camping under the stars at KOA. So let's go ahead and get into this northeastern Arizona road trip. First stop here is along the Colorado River. This here is the Navajo Bridge, nearby Lee's Ferry. The area here is commonly known as Marble Canyon. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you guys are excited for this road trip, be sure to smash up those likes and let us know what you guys think of road trips like this so we can bring them more. Let's keep going. Now down here at Lee's Ferry, it is a recreational area, but dating back in history, this is actually a famous place because a man by the last name of Lee used to escort Mormons across the Colorado River here. So this was one of the best places to cross the river to get from Utah down into southern Arizona. Also a great launch point to go down the Colorado. From Lee's Ferry, we're going to go up Highway 89 towards Page, but before we do, we're going to stop at Horseshoe Bend. Now, this is actually one of the most famous landmarks in all of Arizona. You've probably seen it time and again on Instagram, but this here is a great look at the beautiful bend in the river. They call it the Horseshoe Bend, and you look down and you're just like, wow. This is not part of the Grand Canyon. This is more of the upper part of Grand Canyon between Lake Powell and the granddaddy of them all, the Big Canyon. Occasionally you'll see kayakers down there who actually come up from Lee's Ferry to explore around here. Usually takes around 4 to 6 hours. And now here we are in Page, founded in 1957, so it's a new city with an elevation of 4,300 feet. This here is right there south of Lake Powell and the border with Utah. So if you're planning a trip up here to northern Arizona, you may consider making this your base camp because you can easily get to Horseshoe Bend, Lee's Ferry, and Lake Powell from here. So consider your hotel here. And when you go across that dam there, it's called the Glen Canyon Dam. And yes, you can drive across it. The dam was constructed between 1956 and 1966, part of the Colorado River Storage Project. Along with being a water storage, it also functions as a hydraulic power plant, so you can see the science behind what generates the hydraulic power systems at the visitor center. The dam itself is 710 feet tall and 1,560 feet long. It is the dam that holds the reservoir for Lake Powell, which is the second largest man-made reservoir in the United States, damming up the Colorado River. So now here we are at the Lake Powell Resort. Here they have restaurants, boat tours, lodging, a gift shop, and look at this pool with the views. Really a nice place. Now the reservoir began filling in 1963 and it took 17 years to fill it to its maximum capacity. It actually sits on the border with Utah and Arizona. Now, the entire Lake Powell area covers 161,000 acres. It's a popular boating destination with houseboats, power boats, jet skis, kayaks for rent. People like to get out on this water. They even like to do some fishing because you'll see some striped bass, largemouth bass, catfish. So it's really popular with fishermen and anglers. And now for the big destination here, we're on our way to Monument Valley. You can see what the road looks like going from Lake Powell all the way over here to Monument Valley. Now when you get here, you will notice that it is part of the tribal nations. So you're going to be on a Navajo reservation for the most part when you get here. They do have RV camping, cabins, and tours, but you need to go with a Navajo guide when you're out here if you want to see the off the beaten path stuff. And for the Navajos, this is a very sacred place. They've done ceremonies here for years, dating all the way back, hundreds to even thousands of years. So really, Monument Valley is quite the place. We were here in June, which is summertime. It is a bit hot up here in northeastern Arizona during this time of year. Also in the wintertime, it can get quite brisk and cold up here. So the best time is the shoulder seasons, fall or spring, I would say. They also have these daily horseback tours. These are called the Dene trail rides, so you can go up there and do that. But going off on these off-road trails, for the most part, as long as you're authorized, it says you can enter, you can go out there. But be mindful, if they say do not enter, please do not go over there because that is requested by the tribal elders and the leaders who are saying it's not available to the public. But if you're really going to go out here, I would highly recommend doing one of those Jeep tours, getting the guided tour. That's probably the best way to go if you really want to get your money's worth and get some value out of this trip. They have a 3-star hotel here called The View, and then just nearby they have the View Campground. But what we're also going to do is go a little bit further north and show you up into Utah a bit a little later on in this Monument Valley, Arizona travel guide. And next to the View Hotel, we actually have the Monument Valley Tribal Park Visitor Center. If you're not staying at the hotel, you can easily go here and get a nice view, visit the visitor center, and you can see awesome place to be. For a place like this, you want to be there at golden hour. Golden hour is either sunrise or sunset. You could go here in the middle of the day, but I would definitely say the colors are going to be popping early morning or in the evening time. You can also do some shopping while here for some Native American goods. But look at these colors. All right, it's the next day here, and we did some camping, sleeping under the stars in Monument Valley. You get a sunrise, camping at KOA right there on the border with Utah. So now we're actually going to head up towards Utah. This here is going to be the Forrest Gump lookout point. For those of you who've seen the movie, you may recognize this particular location, but it's cool because you get a view looking back into Arizona. And while you're out here, you'll see people doing the Cruise America RVs, or they're in their own personal RVs exploring around here. And then you'll see people on their choppers or Harleys. And then you just have your everyday people cruising around in their SUVs. So really a nice place out here at Forrest Gump Point. That's a famous picture spot. That's why you see people sitting there in the road. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, please do give it a like and consider subscribing to Living in Arizona Now if you guys love Arizona. Let's keep this tour moving. So now we're headed up towards Four Corners. Just a quick history about the Four Corners. So it's the only place in the United States where 4 states come together: Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. The interesting thing about it is the actual point they say is the location might be a little bit off. I guess they recharted the area and they realized that the actual monument is a little bit off. But hey, it's still a place you can go and say you put your body in 4 different places. People put one hand in Arizona, one hand in Utah, one leg in New Mexico, and the other leg in Colorado. So hey, do what you want. The original survey that was done by the U.S. government in 1868 was initially marked by a sandstone marker. Now they have these location markers. Each state is recognized by a brass disc set in granite. The elevation up here is actually quite high. It's at almost 5,000 feet, 4,980 feet to be exact, above sea level. Nearby, you're going to see the Colorado Plateau, which is where there's famous points of interest, which we'll be showing you some of those a little later on. But one that you should check out is in Colorado called Mesa Verde National Park. We're just not going to go all the way up into Colorado for that one. While here at Four Corners, they have lots of shopping also. So if you're looking to pick up some Native American goods, souvenirs, you'll find a lot of that here at the Four Corners. And you're supporting the local tribes of the Navajo people. Indian fry bread and snow cones are very popular. I've actually been having those up here since I was a kid. All right, so now that we went through the crossroads going to Shiprock or Kayenta, we're actually going towards Kayenta. This here is where Canyon de Chelly is. Now this is definitely on tribal land, so you're gonna be limited to what you can see, but some of it is available to the public. So let's go check out Canyon de Chelly. It almost looks like it's pronounced Canyon de Chelly. Nope, Canyon de Chelly. Look at that sheepdog doing his job there. But yep, here we are pulling up into the Canyon de Chelly National Monument area. There is no entrance fee to get into the actual monument, but if you do go around to other areas, you may be asked to pay a fee depending on where you're going. The park features a welcome center, 2 rim drives with 9 lookouts. This here is Thunderbird Lodge. They've also got a camping area nearby. And then there's a White House overlook and trail, which is actually currently closed because of safety concerns. There's also 2 campgrounds, and those campgrounds do require a fee to stay there. And I would say one of the most iconic landmarks that you'll find out here is going to be Spider Rock. And before you walk out there, make sure you lock up all your belongings. That's what the park is recommending. But here you go. This is a look at Spider Rock. Really a beautiful view down into the canyon. Unfortunately, you can't really walk down there unless you were invited by a tribal member. They've actually closed off quite a few different places inside the monument that used to be open, like the White House Ruins Road. That's currently closed. It may open again later. I'm just letting you guys know the current situation of visiting Canyon de Chelly. Either way, it's a spectacular place. I mean, you can put it right up there next to the Grand Canyon in terms of majesty and beauty, but that's what you get out here in Arizona. So much diversity. You got Monument Valley, Canyon de Chelly, the Grand Canyon. We didn't even go to the Antelope Canyon area, which is beautiful. All of this in northern Arizona. I mean, that's not even mentioning the middle or the southern part of Arizona. And then heading back down towards Phoenix, we're actually going to go a bit of a scenic route. We're not going to go the exact same way we came up, which is going to go through Page. We're going to loop back around through the petrified forest area and then go into Flagstaff. So that's the cool thing about this trip. You don't have to go and come back the exact same route from Phoenix. You can kind of loop around and see different areas as you're heading back down into the valley. And summertime in Flagstaff is a whole lot better than summertime down in Phoenix because it's at 7,500 feet elevation. It's quite high up there. It's higher than Denver, but it's not going to be anywhere as hot as Phoenix. I mean, it can get up into the 90s, but rarely will it ever get into the hundreds. So if you're looking to beat the heat, coming up to Flagstaff in the summertime from Phoenix, never a bad idea. Or if you're coming from Tucson or Yuma or anywhere in Arizona, Flagstaff is really a nice refuge from the scorching heat. And if you're coming back down after a trip like this that takes around 2 to 3 days, I would say treat yourself to a beer at one of those downtown breweries in Flagstaff before you head home. Make sure you don't get too drunk and you have a designated driver, of course. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, let us know where you want us to go next because we love exploring Arizona, whether it's the southern part or the northern part. If you guys really want to watch some more videos, check out our best weekend getaway video or the top things to do in the state of Arizona by clicking one of these videos next.